So, in Chapter 2, we look at a variety of materials which are going to be used to construct residential and light commercial buildings. These materials include wood, concrete, masonry, metal, insulation, plastics, glass, and gypsum products. Various materials are used for electrical and mechanical systems. But before we get more in depth on the topic, we have our objectives that we want to make sure that we focus on. And it's going to be 12. And that is being able to describe symbols used on prints for wood construction, identifying common types of structural properties of wood, listing and describing common components and applications of concrete, describing common types of masonry construction materials, explaining the function of common types of metals in construction materials. 6 is listing the common types of insulation and fireproofing used on building construction. 7, describe common applications of plastics in construction. 8, we want to be able to identify common types of glass products used in the building construction. And 9, describe the uses of gypsum products in construction. 10, list common materials used in roofing. 11, describe common components of electrical systems. And finally, 12, list and describe common components used in mechanical systems. So, the symbol for wood framed walls and interior partitions on plan views is 2 parallel lines. Now, this represents the 2 faces of the wall or the partition itself, with a space between the 2 lines. So walls are generally considered to be load-bearing, while partitions are considered to be non-load-bearing. Now, alternate symbols may be used to represent wood on display drawings or remodeling drawings. Wavy lines may be used to fill wall and partition cavities on display drawings to allow the walls to be shown more prominently. Now, in modeling drawings, parallel lines may be used to fill wall and partition cavities to show parts that are new or require change. End views of rough framing members are going to be indicated with crossing diagonal lines within each piece. Face views of framing members are going to be shown with 2 parallel lines. Now, proper specification in uses of wood in construction is the responsibility of the architect, the engineer, and the trades workers. Now, architects and engineers determine the structural needs and the available wood species that have the best structural properties for the job. One factor that must be considered also when specifying wood species is the maximum allowable unit stresses of the wood member. Now, the table identifies the maximum allowable unit stresses in pounds per square inch, or PSI for short. For common wood species, plywood and glue laminate, or glue lam for short timber, is used in construction. Now, many types of shapes of wood and wood trim members are available for residential and commercial construction. Finished wood trim members, such as your moldings, are going to be produced in standard sizes and shapes at a mill or a manufacturing plant. Wood trim members are going to be cut to the wood's width, and then also to the length. And they're going to be molded from hardwood or even a softwood lumber. Now, trim members are going to be available unfinished, primed, or pre-finished. Up to you. So your softwood molding with a primed finish is typically used for applications where a painted finish is required. And hardwood molding is usually installed where the trim members are to retain a more natural finish. Now, plywood, that's going to be a panel product made of plies or wood layers. These are going to be glued and pressed together under intense heat and pressure, and that plywood contains an odd number of plies, generally 3, 5, or 7 plies, depending upon the panel thickness. The odd number of the plies ensures that the grain on each face runs in the long direction of the panel. Now, that plywood in which the grain runs in the short direction of the panel is also available, but most often must be special ordered from a supplier. And various veneer grades, which include NA, B, C, and C plugged, ND, are going to be utilized for different applications. Now, the highest veneer grade, which is N, is either 100% heartwood or 100% sapwood, and that's going to be intended for your more natural finishes. Now, the lowest veneer, grade D, contains large knots and knot holes and is intended for your rough applications. Your OSB, or oriented strand board, is going to be a wood panel in which wood strands are mechanically oriented in a particular direction, and those are going to be bonded with resin under heat and pressure. Now, OSB panels are composed of an odd number of layers running in the same direction as plywood plies. And our OSB panels are available in thicknesses ranging anywhere from 5/16 of an inch to 1 1/8 of an inch, and are commonly used for subfloors and walls and also roof sheathing.